Hello and welcome to part 2 of the mini happy planner setup DIY that I have for you guys. So I am prepping with my coffee, my music, and here is the cover from Kelsey Creates on Instagram that I had showed in the previous video. I'm going to remove my coffee real quick because I'm scared to drop it on it and show her off a little bit more because we do have way better lighting in this recording. So I just thought, why not show her off? Here are the discs that we spray painted in the previous video. I was trying to show you that they were already starting to chip and I was not able to capture that, but you'll see later on. And then because I knew that this was going to take a long time, I wanted to set the mood by putting on some music, and I go ahead and jump right in to the spine of the setup, which are the discs and the dividers along the inserts. Well, that's basically the entire planner, but that's what I'm doing here, and I'll be coming in and out with the voiceover so that I can further explain what I'm doing in each shot. But I'll try to leave you with some relaxing music so that you can just kind of see what is going on as I go. Do not worry if you're not able to clearly see the inserts that I am inputting into the discs or the little details, because I do plan on doing a more in-depth flip of the entire setup at the end of this video. So if you're not interested in watching me go through the entire process of putting the mini HP together, then you are more than free to go ahead and just skip to the end so you guys can just see the flip of the end product once it's in the cover and everything. But I'll try and leave the timestamp for that as well, because I know that some of you will just want to skip all the way through. So the more I added to the discs, the more I would move them, obviously. So often you see me kind of sweeping around with my hand because the little discs started chipping. The spray paint started chipping off of them, and it did become really aggravating at some point, which is why I switched them at the end. But here I am just adding a couple of dashboards. I really wanted this wildly noted dashboard to be at the beginning, but then I thought, what about if I put it underneath the inbox? So that's just what I'm doing here. And I do want to mention that this is me setting up any type of planner, whether it's a ring planner, a disc bound, any type of notebook, a journal. I just kind of play around with everything that I know that I want to include in the setup and then decide as I go. So just in case you were curious, that is what I'm doing here. Once I felt that I had a sturdy foundation to the planner, I went ahead and attempted to put in the page markers, which were like a plastic material, onto the back sleeve of the Kelsey Creates cover so that it could be what held my planner in place. But I totally forgot that these were page markers. I don't know what I was thinking. So the page markers have an extended length to them because, well, they're page markers. So I decided to pick up this like really thick piece of cardboard and then cut it to size to be the backing of what holds my planner together. It didn't end up working out, but I am still going to leave all of the parts of the filming of this video so that you guys can see everything I had to go through to get this right. So very quickly, I found myself in a pickle here. Good thing I took a little sip of coffee because the cardboard that I originally wanted to use was way too thick to go through the punch. So then I reattempted and I thought maybe I could single punch it and then cut slits. After all, it was only going to be the backing part of the planner, so I didn't have any issue of it being or looking weird, but I was having the hardest time because it was so thick that it ended up bending this puncher as well, as you can see here, and I was so mad. That's why I threw it. And then I have another single one, and I tried this one too, but it also didn't work out. And what did I move on to next? I guess we'll see in just a minute. Ah, I remember now. I think what I was trying to do was mark where the punch would actually go in place, and then I would figure it out later. But it was just not doing it for me. So then I remembered, and I was thinking that I could just use like heavy cardstock material that was thick enough to hold the mini HP in place, but that was not thick enough to not go through the punch. So here I have three pieces of cardstock that I had laying around. Here I'm making sure that it goes through the punch, which thankfully it did. And then I'm going to paste the pages together, punch them, and then try this out. As you can see, I had to put quite a bit of weight onto it because it was really thick. So that was reassuring to me because it was almost like really promising that it would hold the planner, intact or sturdy enough. And so there I was again trying to put it in the back sleeve and kind of testing it out to see if it would hold. Which it really did, as you can see, but I was still not convinced in my head. So I remembered that I had all of the extras from the half letter old setup, and so I whipped out one of the cloth and paper dividers and decided to go ahead and cut that. And then I thought I could also use it as a cover for the planner itself. So I cut two of the dividers, and that's what you'll see me do here. And here they are. And then I'm just taking some acetone to wipe the black markings that I did with the marker to guide me where I was going to cut through them. And at this point, I was actually thinking, or before I did the dividers, I was already thinking to order like covers from a shop, but I didn't. I ended up saving that money, and look how well it worked. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but it just took me a little bit more to process, and here we are now. So for the upcoming shots, this was just me putting in extra vellum pieces of paper. These I actually created myself on Canva, except for the Chingona AF one. That is the Spanish word for badass woman, and that was actually created by Ayumi.plants on Instagram. It is a freebie from her, and the rest I created using canva.com. So, yeah, just a reminder that I'll link all of the stuff that I'm mentioning, or most of the stuff that I'm mentioning, in the description box. So, make sure to check that out. Then, moving on to the extra pocket decoration, these are the wildly noted journaling cards, and I was just switching all of the colors and styles out, playing with my ollie clip to see where I wanted things to go. And I don't remember what I decided to use at the very end, but it is still a work in progress. I change a lot of my setups pretty much on the daily basis. Just depends on my mood. I was getting closer and closer to be satisfied with the setup, but the discs chipping kept aggravating me. So, like I mentioned before, I ended up switching the discs and I am using the Tool rose gold ones. They're not like a metallic rose gold, but they are bigger than the other ones I was using, which were the ones that came with the Martha Stewart notebook originally. I think it's because of the cover that this just fits better and it felt way better in my hand. And I mean, not to mention that they're bigger discs, so I'll be able to fit more stuff in it. And then I wanted a pocket, and I had this personal 3 card holder from like previous setups of my personal rings. I decided to put some washi tape at the very edge of it so that it could become the size of the mini HP, and it worked out great. I really liked how it ended up looking. So here I'm just adding the extra stuff, and then here I'm removing some of the half letter paper that I had because I don't want all of it to go to waste. So I'm going to cut down some lined paper and put it in here as well. Those were the only inserts that were not by Sterling Ink, by the way. And I'm finally done, you guys. Yay, you've made it to the end. Here is the flip of my mini HP. So, like I said, this was the plastic cover, a dashboard from Wildly Noted, an insert I printed on vellum from Sterling Ink, and then the skull vellum I actually made using Canva. I'm skipping the inbox front dashboard because I have some personal info. This little calendar section is so beautiful. This is actually a custom insert made by Sterling Ink. And then I have some to-do inserts just to catch my inbox ideas and things like that for my content planning. I have a fold-out printable as well as some trackers that I'll be using to keep track of followers and subscriptions. Is that the way you say it? I think I just said that wrong. But yeah, that's what I'm showing you there. Following to the trackers, I have that vellum created as a freebie by Ayumi That Plants on Instagram I mentioned before. The DIY pocket, I love how it looks. I think I'm going to switch some of the cards out later. And then I have this translucent sticky note that I made myself for my YouTube checklist. Behind the second divider, which is ideas, I just have grid and lined paper. It's going to work as a brain dump pretty much, and any requests that I get for videos go here. Then the third and last section is my finance, but I decorated it at the front with some marble vellum I made, and then the cloth and paper dashboard. And then I also have this little task card idea from Maddie Plans with some key payments that I received during the months, and of course pertaining to the finance section. Behind that, I have a custom insert bundle that was made by Sterling Ink. So I just have like my name handle going across the page, and then that way it can cover my annual overview, which is this one right here, the horizontal page. And then at the very back of the finance section, oh, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. This is another repeated little calendar insert, and that I'm going to use for like deposits and things. I also have some goals inserts for my social media and myself. And then at the very end, now for real, is a purchase list tracker pertaining to the same